Hey guys, it's editing Nina. So we actually forgot to mention within the episode that you can get a special discount um, on the Horror House website. So if you go to thehorrorhouseshop.com and when you're ready to check out, you can get 10% off your order using Bloody Essentials promo code. That's just Bloody Essentials, no spaces. And if you go into the shop and you want to mention that you heard about the Horror House from the Bloody Essentials podcast, they might also give you a special surprise. So be sure to check out these local horror artists. Moses and Vinny are great guys, and we need to support them in any way possible because it's great to have horror all year round at a local shop here in Chicago. So please support these guys. Again, 10% off your Horror House shop orders. That's the Bloody Essentials promo code. Info is in the description below. So thank you guys. Hey guys, I'm Nina.
I'm Ethan.
And we are Bloody Essentials. Just a few quick announcements. We have some upcoming appearances. We will be at Flashback Weekend August 2nd through the 4th and Ohio TerraCon August 16th through the 17th. Really excited about that. Ethan is going to tell you guys about our upcoming trivia event.
Okay, guys, we have a trivia event coming up in spooky season, either the first or second week in October. We are going to open it to our Patreons first. After our Patreons, we're going to open up to everybody else. We'll pick some names on air so everybody knows that it's fair. What we're going to do is first place prize is a gift bag from Bloody Essentials worth $75 to $100. Second place prize is a gift bag worth $50 to $75. We're going to have all kinds of autographs in there, autographed DVDs, some merch from us. We're really looking forward to doing this and giving back to you guys.
And if you want to be involved in the trivia event, just reach out to us via social media or through our email, and it's going to be a good time. Tonight is a very special episode. We have local business from Chicago, the Horror House.
Hey!
Moses and Vinny.
What's up, guys?
Hi. How's it going? Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, we've been wanting to have you guys on for a while. We're really excited.
As are we.
Awesome. Guys, can you tell us how you got started in horror?
Yeah, so I feel like our love of horror started way back when. Our uncle, growing up, he would always play horror movies for us as a kid. Like we notoriously would always go around Halloween to his place because he would always have the craziest like mannequins he would build, craziest build out. I mean, like he literally got married on Halloween. To give you like context as to how down he is when it comes to putting together anything Halloween or horror related. And yeah, so it started pretty damn early for us growing up, just like as kids in the environment.
Yeah, gotcha. my uncle. So growing up, when Moses, I think even before he was born, he would have all my cousins go over every weekend in October, and we'd sleep over, and he'd pick 3 random horror movies: Vamp, Fright Night, and Mausoleum are 3 off the top of my head that I know that I watched in his living room. And he would do like whoever stood up the latest would win a prize and stuff like that. And it just naturally made all of us like horror fanatics. Also wrestling too. I just never grew out of it. And me and Moses were 10 years apart, so like when he was growing up, almost anything I watched or listened to, he would, hear or watch. And yeah, I feel like now it's pretty much all we watch. That comic stuff, and I mean, it's funny because I look back at those days and I'm just like, I see kids now who come into the shop with their parents and they're like, yeah, my kid's like 5 years old and he just finished watching Child's Play by himself and he loved it. I'm like, as morbid as it is, I fucking love hearing shit like that.
Absolutely. So do you guys have a favorite genre of horror?
No, it's like saying, do you have a favorite kid? Week, like it all varies in your mood. I love 80s horror. I love giallo. I love body horror. So I mean, it all kind of depends on my mood. Yeah, I can't say there's any genre of horror that I don't like. I think if there's one on my list that I'm not as like intrigued by these days, I think it's a lot of exorcism movies. I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of those are
Gotcha.
they're kind of I hate to say they're the same, but like it's almost like you've seen one, you've seen at least 10 of them, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
Seriously.
saturated. They've just been kind of doing it over and over and over again for so many years that there's only so much you can really achieve.
I will say I'm kind of glad that we're finally over that hump of dragging zombies for doing
Oh my
zombie movies.
God. Yes.
Yeah.
It was to the point where it was just like too much. And I'm glad
Yeah.
we're finally kind of getting over that little weird hump.
For sure. There was definitely a phase from like 2005 until like, I don't know, 2015 where it was nothing but zombie movies. And I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
Yeah. And like not even good ones at that.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with zombies, or not zombies, vampires. Like there was a phase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the what is it, the Victoria's Secret models
Yeah.
and like the
Yeah.
airport guys that were vampires and shit. That's cute.
Right. Now, tell us, like, everybody talks about like the horror community. Tell us, like, what sets the horror community apart from any other fandom in your mind?
Oof,
That's a good one.
I feel like the amount of openness and general amount of acceptance that's generated within the community, like it's one of those things where there's a lot of love, and it's not there's not like any level of gatekeeping or like terrible amounts of dissension within the community like you see in a lot of other communities and fandoms.
It's for me, it's like it's hard to say because I can't truthfully say I'm experienced in most communities, so I don't know how they all are, or
Right.
what to compare it to. But I know that the horror community is incredibly misjudged based on just what the genre is itself. Like when you think of horror, you think of just like the most violent, brutal shit, and you just associate that with whoever's like deeply into it. There's some people who are incredibly closed-minded who just kind of think negatively if you have a shirt that's, for example, a Terrifier shirt with a clown slicing a woman in half upside down. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. That's not something you normally see on a shirt. But some of these people that we've met over the years from doing conventions and stuff are some of the best and nicest people that we've ever met. And some of my best friends I would say like 80% of my best friends are all through conventions and the horror community. And
Definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, they're like the most real. Like, of course, like Melissa said, there's not a lot of gatekeeping. There's every community has their toxic fan base, obviously.
Sure.
Sure.
But I love how supportive all the horror fans are when it comes to something. Like when everybody needs to band together, the horror community does just that. And when we were getting our shop together, doing our Kickstarter, that was the first time that we really got to see it firsthand and witness it from that perspective. And we're just incredibly grateful for the people we've met and the customers who walked into our door.
I was going to say, before the horror house opened, you were selling at different conventions.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. How did that start?
2016?
Yeah, 2016. So Vinny's always been a graphic designer, and he had just a whole bunch of different designs that he would get printed on shirts. Working at 1 Hour Tees, or later Pro Wrestling Tees, and because of that, anytime people would see those designs printed, they'd be like, "Damn, that's cool. Where'd you get that?" And we had heard that enough to be like, well, certainly there's a market, that we could hit if enough people seem to like these shirts. Why not at least try it? And
Right.
we were familiar with Flashback Weekend, and so we decided to do what we had to do to get everything in order to get shirts set up, the basic things you need for a small table setup at a con, signed up for it, legally got the named the Cryptic Closet as the name of the at the time, just like the standard partnership, I guess. Yeah, and we said, all right, we'll make it official. We'll do the thing and see if this works out. And it was kind of we did it one time, and then after that was it. Like it was like we had to keep. It was infectious almost. I can't quite describe like just how exciting it was for us, like at that very first con. But it was an awesome feeling to see that there were people that genuinely appreciated what we were doing. And you know, we just assumed that, you know, whatever, it might even be a wash. We didn't know if we'd bring anything back.
Yeah.
And so to see that it was well received at, you know, our very first event, kind of gave us that motivation to just keep trying new events, keep messing around with our setup, and just kind of grow and improve and see what we can do to really get the brand going at the time.
Right.
And tell us when and like how you guys decided to start your own shop, the Horror House.
So after doing the Cryptic Closet for about like 5-6 years, we did enough conventions to where I started thinking to myself, like, there's a lot of shows that are oversaturated with nothing but celebrity guests, which is great for the person attending it. But when you think of it from a vendor's perspective, it's kind of hit or miss. It's a slippery slope, because if you have too many great guests, everybody's going to spend money on the autographs and all that stuff. But then when it comes down to the vendors, they're not going to spend the money because they don't have it. And the vendors are the reason why these shows can happen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I had an idea of putting together a vendor-based event that was like a 3-day pop-up. And basically I contacted all my buddies and friends and all the people that we've known from doing the conventions and doing our comic and stuff. We contacted them and put together one giant show that was kind of vendor-based and had, you know, like 1 or 2 guests, including a wrestler who's in WWE right now. His name's Karrion Kross. He was the main guest for that year. And we just wanted to keep it more, you know, like give the attention to the artists and the small brands, you know. And we called the pop-up the Horror House. And the idea was to eventually have a storefront and be able to carry all these artists and brands, and kind of give people the experience of going to a convention, but, you know, in a smaller shop.
Yeah.
Right.
For example, you come here and you can get 2 or 3 different shirts from 3 different companies. You know, you can get 2 or 3 prints from independent artists in the Midwest, and, you know, all wouldn't even have to leave one shop to do it. So, like, the goal is to do something fun for the horror community as well as ourselves, and also help our friends out along the way.
For sure.
Excellent. Community helping community. I love it.
Yep. Because, you know, actually, it's funny because like a week or 2 ago, somebody commented on like Ghoulish Mortals, and somebody made a video about our shop, and somebody's like, Ghoulish Mortals is better. And it's like, you know, like, we don't really try to compete with them. Like, they're great. Like, I love Ghoulish Mortals. Like, the owners came into our shop last week, and they were the nicest people. We finally got to meet them. They contacted us as soon as we opened their shop a couple years ago, and they were just like the most welcoming and sweetest people ever. So, like, it's just so funny because I think in this world, it's become so toxic where people need like the drama that they make their own. And it's like, little do you realize, like, these companies are cheering each other on. You know, like, I love seeing them doing good, and any other brands, you know, even if it's not in Chicago. It's just like, it doesn't always have to be competing. You know, we can work together and create something better.
Absolutely. It's not a competition. If you succeed, we succeed.
Right.
We're all supposed to be helping each other out here. That's what it's all about.
Right.
And that's why our podcast is not just horror movies. We want everybody in the horror community, you know, horror stores and vendors and everything to come on. And we've done comic books, and we're talking to some authors and stuff now. We want the whole community to come together.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
That was the primary reason for starting the podcast, because a lot of horror podcasts right now, they primarily just review movies. And it's like, yeah, that's
Right.
great, but like there's only so many times we can talk about Friday the 13th, you know? Like
right.
it'd be really great to have some artists on and focus on the artists and the creators, because they are the blood of the horror community. Like
Yes.
without them, we wouldn't, you know, we wouldn't have these conventions. So
Yeah.
now tell us about some collaborations that you guys have done, like with other businesses in Chicago. Like I know the Music Box obviously was a big one for you guys, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've collaborated with Music Box Theater. We've worked with Emporium as well. It's a beer arcade in Logan Square. We teamed up with them. Like you guys, sometimes we do things that don't necessarily cater straight to horror fans.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a show called I Think You Should Leave that we all are geeks over, and we did a I Think You Should Leave themed pop up in December. We worked with Scarlet Lane Brewery, which is like a horror themed beer company. The official beer of horror, actually. That's their official trademark line. And they're in McCordsville, Indiana. And we did a Christmas market there last year, and we're going to do another one this year.
Nice.
But I would say, honestly, our closest and our most proud partnership is definitely Music Box Theater.
Yeah.
They've been there since before we opened and helped us along the way with just giving us opportunities to throw these kind of unique events for the fans and for the horror community. And yeah, for that, like, I realize how unique it is because I try going to different states like Michigan and contacting theaters, and it's not that easy, you know. And
Yeah.
if they do
Right.
work with you, they just want to charge you like a booking fee, you know.
Yeah.
And built this relationship with Music Box where it's just all built on trust and just knowing that whatever we present to the table, that we're there with the intent of making it a home run, you know, and like selling it out and just making it not just a movie screening, but an experience, you know, especially the one that's coming up next month.
Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us what's happening next month for your 2-year anniversary?
Oh, well, we're Moses, you can introduce it.
Yeah. So we to celebrate 2 years, where we picked a sequel, a great sequel. We picked Scream 2, and similar to our 1-year anniversary when we did Killer Clowns from Outer Space, we're going to make it somewhat of an interactive experience. So you know, kind of like some William Castle type beat. You know.
So yeah, to be less cryptic, we're gonna have actors recreating the whole beginning scene of the movie where Jada Pinkett gets that. So we're gonna have actors who are gonna be recreating it live to the movie, and the crowd is basically you're gonna basically be an extra in the beginning of Scream 2. The whole idea is we have a couple different parts that we have things planned for, and like Moses said, it is kind of like a William Castle screening in a sense that there's going to be a lot more. It's not just a normal screening. There's a lot more thought put into it, a little more theatrics, and the whole goal is to. Whenever I watch Scream 2, I'm always like, man, it'd be really fucking cool to go to a theater like that for a movie.
Definitely.
That's the whole goal. So we're gonna make that happen July 25th, and people can be a part of it. And if you order your ticket online, you automatically, for every ticket you order, you get a raffle entry for a giveaway, and that includes like $100 gift cards to the Horror House, the exclusive commemorative shirt that's gonna be designed by Stephen Laurel's Holiday, a commemorative cup, special item from the other owner, Aaron Gasson. He has a company called Swedish Made Toys, and he's doing an exclusive piece for the show. So you're gonna get that as well as a signed 8x10 from Roger Jackson.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we're just planning to make it a full-on experience and want to do something really special because I don't know if you guys were there last year for the Killer Clowns, but we tried to make it as unique and memorable as possible. And I feel like there's people who, when we were doing Riot Fest last year, stopped into the booth just to tell us, like, hey, I just want to come over here to tell you guys that Killer Clown screening was the best theater experience of my life, and I still think about it. And shit like that is like what makes us smile, you know? It's like that's what we do it for, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I was at the Killer Clowns event last year, and I'd heard of the Horror House, but I hadn't actually been to your guys' shop yet because I just moved here. And, you know, the cotton candy and the animal balloons, like, it was so memorable, so great. And, like, the audience was, like, ecstatic. Like,
it was so electric in there.
It was so incredible.
Yeah, then that's our whole goal, is like we want to do that again. Hopefully do it twice as big. We have our friend who's coming, and she's actually bringing she's a massive Scream fan, and is going to provide us with screen worn items that were used by Dewey, others, and screen worn robe from Ghost that people can take pictures of, and whatever. So yeah, we're just trying to. We have a couple, like another surprise or two up our sleeve, but that's something that has to be seen when you walk up to Music Box.
You can't spoil all the surprises,
right?
It sounds absolutely frigging amazing, and we will definitely be there. I have my Stab shirt ready that I actually bought from the Horror House. So.
And he's the one who's designing the anniversary shirts.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's really exciting. Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. We'll have all the links in our description so you can buy tickets directly from the Music Box and get entered into your drawing. If you don't know where the Music Box is, it's at 3733 North Southport Avenue. That's July 25th. Interactive screening of Scream 2. Doors are at 8. Screening is at 9:30. And Horror House is at 2911 West Belmont Avenue.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, all that's going to be in the description.
Have you guys ever heard of the movie Glorious?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we're also doing the following Friday. So like just over a week later, we're doing another screening at Music Box, but it's in the smaller theater. So it's less than 70 tickets available. We're doing a special screening of Glorious on the big screen, and we're going to have writer Joshua Hall, which is our buddy who also owns that horror-themed brewery. Yeah, he's one of the managers there. He's going to be there doing a Q&A and signing and telling all the stories from the set and his experience doing the movie.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Look, if anybody's into like glory holes and dying and weird cosmic Lovecraftian horror, come up August 2nd too.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yes. I gotta write this down. August 2nd. All right.
Yep, Glorious. That'll be fun.
You're like, why did I write down Glory Hole Music Box? What is this?
My wife's gonna look at my notes and be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Got a busy weekend planned,
right?
There we go.
Do you guys have any upcoming events at the shop coming up? Like, I know you guys have celebrities come out and do signings or anything. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, so the next one we have officially planned, we're working on another one that we can't announce yet, but we're doing a book signing on the 20th.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. I feel like there's an event that I'm forgetting. Well, anyways, Adam Caesar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a lot of horror novels, but he wrote Clown in the Cornfield.
Yep.
And he's releasing the third one.
Nice.
And the cover itself looks incredible. And he's doing his first book tour, and this is his first time in Chicago as well. And on top of that, we're his first date. So the August 20th date is the kickoff to his little book tour, and he's going to be here signing. We're going to be working with Bucket of Blood, so we'll be, if you go to Bucket of Blood, which is like down the block from us, purchase one of his books and come here, you get a special item and get to meet him. We're going to hopefully have some beer and make it just like a big ass party hangout. So that's a Tuesday night. Listen, I know if people have kids, children's Benadryl exists. Also, there's a really cool headlock that you could learn via YouTube that also helps in case your kid is aggressive or wakes up. And then you can come to the horror house, drink with us, hang out, and meet Adam Caesar because he's fucking awesome.
There you go.
And besides that, I think we're trying to work on doing something a little bit different and getting a somebody who's a musical related guest.
Like horror musical?
No, like punk rock.
Just
Like
that's
like
exciting.
legendary punk band.
Nice. That'll be fun.
And yeah, we're still working on I feel like, after that, our focus is usually like right now is Riot Fest. That's like where the end of the tunnel is for us right now is at September. Once that ends, then we got October, our main season, and then gonna try to do something special for November, December. So there might be one more meet and greet. Just give us a follow at the Horror House Shop. That's the best way to keep up with any kind of updates or events or signings that we do.
I'm probably a little older than all of you, so there used to be horror shops all over.
House of Monster.
Yeah, and I would go to them because I've been collecting horror for 30 some years, and I would go, and your shop has a totally different vibe than everybody else. Yours is kind of like you go and it's a home feel. You could just go in and look around and be there for days because you're interacting with people or with one of you guys and you're just talking. You're like, oh yeah, shit, I'm here to shop too. So totally different feel.
That makes us happy because that's what I love. I remember going to Horribles and it was like that where I either talked to Matt or John whenever I was there, and half the time you're just like, oh shit, hold on. After like 30 minutes of talking, you're like, all right, I'm gonna go look around now.
Right? Yeah, I came here to buy this, but oh well. So
yeah,
that means that's just as like amazing and meaningful to us as somebody who just comes in here and buys something and walks out. Like we love the customers that we get to see and interact with and catch up with, and
talk new movies.
Yeah, there's some who come in here just to say what's up, chat. There's a guy who brings his daughter in just to play Mortal Kombat, and then they go walk to the bus stop. So like, it's really cool seeing the kind of people who walk in, and there are times where kids get really scared because you do see the outside and you think, oh man, this place is fucking frightening. But then you walk in and you see Moses and he's the most chipper, smiley person ever and like has a warm personality. It's like kids don't feel as threatened when they're in here, and that makes me happy because like I don't know. I know how it was being a kid, and I do love it when the kids come in here and they're not fucking crying their eyes out, except when they see the Michael Myers thing.
Yeah, the Michael scares adults. Like I've seen grown ass people fucking jump immediately.
Yeah, but then you got the fucking adults that turn into kids when they come in here, and that's really as amazing to watch, because like just watching people making a third or fourth lap, like holy shit, I didn't even notice that, like that's what we look for.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, the last time we were in there, me and Nina,
we were there for like 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, and I actually came in to buy something, and we left, and about an hour later, I was like, shit, I gotta go back because I got caught up in talking.
Yeah,
well, that's one of our favorite parts. We get to actually engage with the community, and I feel like it gives us the opportunity to kind of be a hub, a meeting place for people that otherwise wouldn't, especially when you're not directly connected into. A lot of people aren't even familiar that with the horror community as it exists, like in a physical presence. Like a lot of these fans, they come in and they've never been to any of these cons or any of these events, and so it's also cool on the level of kind of opening people up to the realization that there is community that you can be a part of and not just have to be at arm's length behind a screen somewhere. That you could come and actually, hang out and talk about, the whole range of horror, and also what horror means to you. You know, I mean, like I feel like most people, they have a special relationship with the genre once they've been around it long enough. And so it's kind of cool to also get to see other people's different perspectives on why horror speaks to them in such a deep way, whether it was a certain movie that came across at a very pivotal time for them, or they just grew up with it, or they were even recently introduced to aspects of the genre that they didn't know exist. So it's cool to kind of just be able to engage with people on that level, because I feel like without us being at a physical place that you could come to, you know, at any point in the week, a lot of those interactions just simply wouldn't exist.
For sure. Yeah. I didn't start going to horror conventions until 2018. I didn't even know they were a thing until I met one of my friends, and we went together one year, and I was blown away by the community and everything. Like, I had been a horror fan, but I didn't know that conventions were a thing or anything like that. So like over, since 2018, I've been building up, people that I know and companies that I am familiar with and stuff. And it's one thing to just be a horror fan to watch the movies, but it's a whole nother thing to discover new businesses and people and like build friendships with that are gonna last forever.
Yep. It's funny when Moses was talking about the first show we ever did. To be honest, as amazing as the vibe was, the very first day felt like being a new kid and being transferred to the class where everybody kind of knows each other and everybody like has friends, and you're just a new fucking kid and they're like, who's this person? And then it's become like a family reunion anytime we do shows, or we're like, oh, so and so's here, like how the tables have turned, like now it's like we get excited for these shows because we get to see our friends, but the very first one was slightly intimidating for that alone, but like, yeah, best decision ever.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anytime I see Moses's hair before I see Moses. I'm like, horror shop's here.
Yeah, I can't hide with that.
No.
Like, we'll be doing shows and people be like, "Man, I love your hair," and I'm like, "Thanks." I'm just looking at them like, "What the fuck? What about me?" Like, I spent more time doing my hair than he did this morning.
Moses, his hair just shows up with him.
I know. I used to have a fro. We shaved it.
Are there any horror movies coming out soon that you guys are excited about?
Long Legs.
Yes.
We saw it, and we're gonna go see it again.
Yeah.
And that movie, cannot stop thinking about it. Still thinking.
It leaves the theater with you. Like I was that night is pretty much like, and the next morning I was still thinking about that damn movie. Like it's.
Listen, the best way to put it, and this is no spoiler at all, but Nicolas Cage. The feeling I got whenever I kept seeing him on screen, I keep telling people that it was the same vibe and feeling I got when I watched Heath Ledger play the Joker, where you're just like you're like just sucked in by his character and you can't stop looking at him. You can't stop just fucking. It's when he's on the screen, you're not paying attention to anybody else that's on the screen with him. It's like it's him, and it's he nails it. So he just completely gets into the character and embodies it. And yeah, the whole cast was amazing, and the way it was captured, it was just
even just the aesthetic. Like they killed every aspect of that movie. It's I'm normally not one to like rave about new movies, but if there is one to rave about, it's Long Legs.
I haven't seen Quiet Place, but I heard that one's the new one. I heard that one's really, really good.
Yeah.
As a Crow fan, I can't say I'm excited for the new one.
No.
I'm like, the way I feel is when mom will pick up my report card and I knew I fucked up, so I just have like that my stomach. I need to take a shit feeling. About the new Crow, I'm like, I'm gonna see it, but I know it's fucking horrible. It just feels like a John Wick with makeup.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a huge Crow fan. I love the novel, the original, of course. It's like very sacred to a lot of people. And the fact that, Brandon Lee, of course, passed away during the filming, it feels like something that should just be left alone. It's kind of like the Titanic. Stop going underneath the ocean to mess with this thing. Like, just let it go. Like,
or on the novel, like you were saying, like,
yeah,
there's a bunch of different crows. They didn't have to do Eric Draven.
Right. Just let it go. Do something else.
Right.
That's the big thing. Like, just do something else. All these horror people that are remaking stuff and just churning crap out, like, just let it go. Stop remaking The Exorcist. Stop redoing Halloween. Just
stop making The Strangers. It's not even an old movie.
Right. That's crazy.
It's not even fucking 20 years old.
That is insanity.
Like, Jesus Christ. It's not even old enough to drink and it's being remade.
Later today, we're doing 2 recordings today, but we're having a remake conversation with our buddies from Whole Damn Enchilada podcast, and we're really excited because we're going to be talking about some new stuff, some old stuff, and I'm really excited to talk about that. But yeah,
that sounds exciting. Yeah, we saw that's the one that's freshest in my mind is the chapter 1, The Strangers, and I remember feeling like I just watched the CW remake, The Strangers. And the only reason I had sympathy for the main dude is because he was an asthmatic and I'm an asthmatic. And my biggest fear happened in the movie where he drops his inhaler.
He did like what 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, twice. Exactly. But I'm a stoner, so I would do the same shit. But it was just not for me. It felt like like the CW version where all the heart and dread and actual terror was all removed from the movie, and it was just like, but now I feel stuck. I got to see chapter 2 now. Such bullshit.
Right. Ethan and I just watched the first Omen, and like what's weird is like we started it one night and it was like really good that night, and then we tried to finish it because we didn't get to finish it, and we're just like, this is shit. Like, this is bad. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
I think it was really good the first night because we were drinking. So
that'll do it.
That helps.
The next night we weren't. We were like, "This is shit, man. This is
horrible. This is shit."
I did the long late. I don't know what the deal is with the horror promotion this year, but it is phenomenal because the long legs, they have a phone number you can call, right? Yeah. I made the mistake of calling it late at night. Like, I was in bed, the lights were off, and I'm just like, oh, there's a phone number. I'm going to call it. And all of a sudden I hear Nicolas Cage's voice in my ear, and I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
I need a shower.
It's so gross.
It's gross, and like he's breathing in your ear, and it's like, but it's fun. And Maxine is doing a similar thing. They have a text thing that you can do, and she sends you messages and stuff. And I was doing that, and like you get a copy of like her resume or whatever and a headshot. And I'm like, I'm going to print these off, make them look professional, and like, put that up because that's really cool that they're doing that.
That is pretty
cool. I mean, listen, as much as I hated the remake of chapter 1, I did think the promotion of people dressed up like all 3 of them and going up to people's like ring apps and shit and like creeping people out was pretty rad. Or like Smile, like the way they did Smile.
Smile is crazy.
Smile is great. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope they keep doing stuff like that because I feel like it's more inviting for people who aren't in the horror bubble, who aren't in the community, who don't typically go see those movies. It captures more interest, especially if you're like, I don't know, you're let's say you're somebody watching baseball and you're the one who's not into it.
Yeah.
Probably just watching it and zoning out, and then you're focusing on somebody who's just smiling and being a creep in the background. You're like, what the fuck is this? Come to find out it's a movie promotion. Like, so clever, so cool. I hope to see more of that in 2025 because I feel like because of TikTok and all this stuff, it's forcing people to find a new way to connect with people, and it's really cool seeing the cool shit that they come up with.
For sure.
Is there anything else that you need to tell the listening audience? Anything you want to promote?
Most honestly, just the screening, really. Like I tell people, like, if there's anything you really want, that I really love people to experience, it's these events that we put our blood, sweat, and tears into, because we love the shop, love people coming to the shop, but like this is where we get to kind of do a little bit more and think outside the box and kind of provide people with a different kind of experience, you know. And
Yeah.
I feel like with what we have going on the 25th, if there's any way to kind of experience what we do as a brand, I feel like that's the perfect thing to go to. So if you're not doing anything Thursday night, come out to the Scream event, Scream 2 at Music Box Theater. And if not, if let's say you're too busy, if you're at Riot Fest this coming year, stop by the tent. We're going to have a giant Beetlejuice inflatable on top of our tent, so people can't miss us. And then besides that, we have our website that's always up with all our shirts. It's just thehorrorhouseshop.com. So if you want to support us, you don't live in the area, but you want to grab a shirt or whatever the case may be, that's the best way to go. And also, I think we just want to thank everybody for having the love for us and support that they do, and the fact that people like you guys have us on your podcast and want to, you know, help us plug our stuff. And it means a lot to us, because it literally is just, we have our other owner, Aaron, who lives in Michigan, but day to day, it's me and Moses here. So it means a lot that people care about what we do.
Yeah. So thank you guys on that note, because we appreciate you guys bringing us on and you know, looking to try to help us, you know, spotlight what we do in the community. And we appreciate that you guys are kind of giving a voice to aspects of the community that otherwise go completely unseen and unheard. So keep doing the good work, because you guys are doing something really special, and it's appreciated, seriously.
Well, we appreciate this, and this definitely will not be the last time that you guys are on.
No.
Next time we'll have to plan it when we have our third leg Aaron here.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And we'll just talk horror or whatever.
Oh yeah,
we'll shoot the shit. We'll see. You know what happens between now and then.
For sure. Yeah.
And Bloody Essentials will be bringing you guys a little anniversary gift.
Oh,
when we come on the 25th.
Yes.
Guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a bunch of stuff that we've set aside for you guys, so we're really excited.
This is enough. Have on your show.
Seriously, you're spoiling us.
Yeah, we got some stuff for you. So
you guys have done a lot for us over the years, so we want to give it back. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys more than you know.
Yeah, seriously.
Again, thank you for having us and being able to chat and just hanging out. Hopefully, next time we do it, we can do it in person.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And again, guys, if you want to get your tickets for Scream 2, you want to go out to the Music Box July 25th, buy your tickets ASAP, because they will sell out. Killer Clown sold out and people were like turned away, I believe. But get those tickets early. You'll be entered into the Horror House's raffle for awesome prizes. And again, doors are at 8, screening is at 9:30. And we'll have all the information in the description below as well, in case you forget. So thank you again, Moses and Vinny. We really appreciate you guys coming on. It means so much to us.
Thank you
guys.
Yeah. And if you ever find yourself in a horror movie, don't have sex, don't do drugs,
and don't die. We'll see you the next time.
Bye, guys.
Mwah.
Bye-bye.